Ever find yourself just staying quiet in a meeting even though you totally disagree with what's being said? Or, saying yes to something when every single fiber of your being is just screaming no? Look, that's not weakness. It's not a lack of courage. It's something much deeper, an ancient programming. Today, we're going to dive into this unconscious ritual that kind of runs our lives, and more importantly, how we can start to break free.
Okay, so that statement might hit you a little hard, but it points to a really profound truth. We love to believe our choices are our own, right? But the reality is, we're obedient in ways we don't even recognize. And the reason for it? Well, it's not what you think.
So here's the central idea, and it's a big one. Obedience isn't some conscious decision we make out of fear or logic. No, it's a hardwired survival reflex. You can think of it like a biological code that's running in the background of your nervous system, making decisions for you way before your conscious mind even gets a chance to weigh in.
And this distinction is absolutely crucial. We think we obey to, avoid getting in trouble, that it's a choice we're actively making. But what's really going on is so much deeper. We're actually obeying to preserve our very identity, our sense of belonging. It's not a mindset, it's a survival reflex, an ancient code designed to keep us safe and part of the tribe.
I mean, just let that sink in for a second. Your nervous system is running software that's 200,000 years old. And for our ancestors, getting kicked out of the group, social exile, was a literal death sentence. This is why getting disapproved of or rejected can feel like actual physical pain. Your biology is literally screaming, "Danger! You could die!"
Now, what's so fascinating is how this ancient reflex plays out in our modern lives. It shows up as a 5-step ritual. It's like this unconscious religion that you practice every single day without ever even signing up for it. And it has its own prayers, its own scriptures, its own offerings, the whole shebang.
So these 5 steps, they form a loop that keeps us stuck, keeps us compliant. It all starts with the fear of rejection, which makes us silence ourselves. Then we start looking outside for validation. We manage our image, and finally, we just conform our behavior. Let's break each one down.
All right, step 1. This is the foundation. It's the altar where everything else is built. For a lot of us, we learned really early on that love and affection were conditional. We only got them when we acted a certain way. And this installed a deep, primal fear of rejection that now serves as the very center of this entire ritual.
With that fear locked in, we move to step 2, which we can call the prayer. This is where we silence our own truth. And I'm not just talking about disagreeing with your boss. It's about silencing those small, quiet voices inside that say, "I feel insecure right now," or "I'm lonely." We push down what's real inside us in this desperate attempt to just belong.
Next up is step 3, the scripture of this unconscious religion. It's a question that becomes this repetitive chant in our minds. How am I being perceived? Over and over. This question becomes our gospel. We stop checking in with ourselves, and instead we're constantly scanning the outside world, just trying to guess what everyone else thinks of us.
And of course, that leads directly to step 4, putting on the robes. This is all about image management. We build this carefully curated version of ourselves, a mask, a persona, to hide all the parts we think are unacceptable. We put on a brave face so nobody sees the scared or wounded person underneath.
And the final step is the offering. This is where we conform our behavior. We say the thing we don't really mean, we smile when we're actually upset, we just go along with the group even when it feels wrong. We're literally sacrificing our authenticity on that altar of acceptance, all to keep that 200,000-year-old software from freaking out.
So, what's the real cost of performing this ritual day after day? Well, it's not just about feeling a little fake now and then. It is a slow, steady identity theft. It's the theft of your very soul.
And here's what that cost looks like. We lose our connection to what's true for us. We just give away our personal power, our ability to actually shape our own lives. And in the end, we lose our authenticity, that unique spark that is, well, us. We basically become a walking collection of survival strategies instead of a person. And this right here is the really terrifying part of it all. That compliant, people-pleasing version of you, the one that says yes when it wants to scream no, that's not your personality. That's your conditioning. It's a defense system born from trauma, and it's wearing a little name tag that says me.
But here's the good news. You can break the trance. You can interrupt this ritual. And it all starts with one single, powerful question that you can ask yourself in any of those moments of decision.
This is it. This is the pattern interrupt. Just by asking this question, you shift from that unconscious reflex to a conscious choice. You force yourself to look the fear right in the eye. What's the actual, tangible consequence I'm so terrified of? And you know what? Most of the time, you'll find it's nowhere near as catastrophic as your nervous system wants you to believe.
Now, let's be super clear here. This isn't about becoming some rebel without a cause or, breaking rules just for the sake of it. The goal is way more strategic. It's about retraining your nervous system. You have to give it new data, new proof that these little acts of noncompliance are not actually a threat to your survival.
So how do you actually do it? Through these small, totally manageable acts of microdefiance. Say a gentle no to a small request. The next time you feel that urge to perform and be on, just be still. Allow a real, honest feeling to just surface, even if it's only for you. Every time you do this, and you survive, and you are literally rewriting that ancient code.
At the end of the day, this journey isn't about becoming someone new. It's not really about rebellion at all. It's about remembering. Remembering who you were before all the conditioning took over. It's about remembering how to simply stand on your own 2 feet.
And this comparison really says it all. The conditioned self, it complies just to survive. It shrinks itself down to make other people comfortable, and it's always seeking permission. But your authentic self doesn't need any of that. It just is. It doesn't shrink, it becomes. It doesn't ask for permission, it stands.
And that's really the ultimate takeaway here. You weren't born to be compliant. You weren't born to sit still and shut up and shrink yourself so that other people can feel more comfortable. You were born to be. You were born to become. So the real question is, what will you become when you finally stop asking for permission?